B-52 Stratofortress is an American long-range, subsonic, jet-powered strategic bomber. The B-52 was designed and built by Boeing, which has continued to provide support and upgrades. It has been operated by the United States Air Force or USAF since the 1950s. The bomber is capable of carrying up to 70,000 pounds of weapons, and has a typical combat range of more than 8,800 miles or 14,080 km without aerial refueling. Beginning with the successful contract that in June 1946, the B-52 design evolved from a straight-wing aircraft powered by 6 turboprop engines to the final prototype B-52 with 8 turbojet engines and swept wings. The B-52 took its maiden flight in April 1952. Built to carry nuclear weapons for Cold War-era deterrence missions, the B-52 Stratofortress replaced the Convair B-36. A veteran of several wars, the B-52 has dropped only conventional munitions in combat. The B-52's official name Stratofortress is rarely used. Informally, the aircraft has become commonly referred to as the Buff or Big Ugly Fat Fucker. The B-52 has been in active service with the USAF since 1955. As of December 2015, 58 were in active service with 18 in reserve. The bombers flew under the Strategic Air Command or SAC until it was disestablished in 1992 and its aircraft absorbed into the Air Combat Command or ACC. In 2010 all B-52 Stratofortresses were transferred from the ACC to the newly created Air Force Global Strike Command or AFGSC. Superior performance of high subsonic speeds and relatively low operating costs have kept the B-52 in service despite the advent of later, more advanced aircraft, including the cancelled Mach 3 B-70 Valkyrie, the variable geometry B-1 Lancer, and the stealth B-2 Spirit. The B-52 completed 60 years of continuous service with its original operator in 2015. After being upgraded between 2013 and 2015, it is expected to serve into the 2040s. The Lockheed C-130 Hercules is a 4-engine turboprop military transport aircraft designed and built originally by Lockheed, now Lockheed Martin. Capable of using unprepared runways for takeoffs and landings, the C-130 was originally designed as a troop, medevac, and cargo transport aircraft. The versatile airframe has found uses in a variety of other roles, including as a gunship, a C-130, for airborne assault, search and rescue, scientific research support, weather reconnaissance, aerial refueling, maritime patrol, and aerial firefighting. It is now the main tactical airlifter for many military forces worldwide. Over 40 variants and versions of the Hercules, including a civilian one marketed as the Lockheed L-100, operate in more than 60 nations. The C-130 entered service with the US in the 1950s, followed by Australia and others. During its years of service, the Hercules family has participated in numerous military, civilian and humanitarian aid operations. In 2007, the C-130 became the 5th aircraft, after the English Electric Canberra, B-52 Stratofortress, Tupolev F-295, and KC-135 Stratotanker, to mark 50 years of continuous service with its original primary customer, in this case, the United States Air Force. The C-130 Hercules is the longest continuously produced military aircraft at over 60 years, with the updated Lockheed Martin C-130J Super Hercules currently being produced. The Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker is a military aerial refueling aircraft. It and the Boeing 707 airliner were developed from the Boeing 367-80 prototype. It is the predominant variant of the C-135 Stratolifter family of transport aircraft. The KC-135 was the U.S. Air Force's first jet-powered refueling tanker and replaced the KC-97 Stratofreighter. The KC-135 was initially tasked with refueling strategic bombers, but was used extensively in the Vietnam War and later conflicts such as Operation Desert Storm to extend the range and endurance of U.S. tactical fighters and bombers. The KC-135 entered service with the United States Air Force, USAF, in 1957. It is one of 6 military fixed-wing aircraft with over 50 years of continuous service with its original operator. The KC-135 is supplemented by the larger KC-10. Studies have concluded that many of the aircraft could be flown until 2040, although maintenance costs have greatly increased. The aircraft will eventually be replaced by the Boeing KC-46 Pegasus. The Lockheed U-2, nicknamed Dragon Lady, is an American single-jet engine, ultra-high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft operated by the United States Air Force, USAF, and previously flown by the Central Intelligence Agency. It provides day and night, high-altitude, 70,000 feet, all-weather intelligence gathering. The U-2 has also been used for electronic sensor research, satellite calibration, and communications purposes. Early versions of the U-2 were involved in several events through the Cold War, being flown over the Soviet Union, China, Vietnam, and Cuba. In 1960, Gary Powers was shot down in a CIA U-2A over the Soviet Union by a surface-to-air missile, SAM. Another U-2, piloted by Major Rudolph Anderson, was lost in a similar fashion during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. The U-2 is one of a handful of aircraft types to have served the USAF for over 50 years. The newest models, TR-1, U-2R, U-2S, entered service in the 1980s. The current model, the U-2S, received its most recent technical upgrade in 2012. They have taken part in post-Cold War conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq, and supported several multinational NATO operations. In service as of 2017 in several air forces. The United States Air Force, USAF, operates the most T-38s. In addition to training USAF pilots, the T-38 is used by NASA. The U.S. Naval Test Pilot School is the principal U.S. Navy operator. Other T-38s were previously used as U.S. and aggressor aircraft until replaced by the similar Northrop F-5 Tiger II. Pilots of other NATO nations fly the T-38 in joint training programs with USAF pilots. As of 2015, the T-38 has been in service for over 50 years with its original operator, the United States Air Force. The Douglas AC-47 Spooky, also nicknamed Puff, the Magic Dragon, was the first in a series of gunships developed by the United States Air Force during the Vietnam War. It was designed to provide more firepower than light and medium ground attack aircraft in certain situations when ground forces called for close air support.